HermitCraft Season 9, live for the evening of Friday, the 24th of June, 2022. Do 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 do.
Power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all downtown. Lines of connection, communication, not the borders of boundaries that slice and dice a nation. Divided by the chalk lines of disreputable history, past failures are laid out as we shrug with absent mystery. Those bodies left behind us while we amble on ahead, fearful of the wrong things from newspapers unread. Before I tell you what to do, or you try to tell me, let's all see what's been done and where we could have been. By knowing what's before us, the path might clear ahead and focus on new obstacles uncharted by the dead. Power line from a gurgling turbine, a telephone line from a quiet room, a metro line from across the city. Maybe we'll all raise our glasses soon. They say across the fence line the grass is always verdurous, but we're not corralling cattle, fearing rain, foul murders. When we look out past dividers, we're unsurprised to see more folks erecting fences, becoming detainees. Before I worry about you or you worry about me, let's all dwell on ourselves, we're the private enemy, becoming who we're meant to, virtuous and creative. We won't dread the different, the strange or unrelated. A power line to convey certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all, to bring us home.
The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and brought out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us! Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and tonight y'all are my live streaming audience. Thank you to CosmoQuest X for the raid. Those folks are fantastic, always doing awesome space educational shows, but some fun stuff too. I'm gonna shout them out real quick. Twitch.tv/CosmoQuestX. Appreciate y'all bringing some folks in with that raid. I was in the middle of kind of the setup for the show, where I do the behind-the-scenes magic that makes all this move. Those songs, both of them, I wrote the lyrics to, but they were arranged and performed by my magnificent sibling, Sean Hills, and you can find Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills, Volumes 1 and 2, anywhere that you buy digital music, basically. Apple, Amazon, whatever. Anyway, sun is getting real low. And there's monsters nearby. It's my favorite. My favorite. We are playing some Minecraft here tonight. Hope y'all are ready for that. Okay. So, yeah. Basically, oh my gosh. So, here's where we're at on playing Minecraft. After the stream last night, I spent about 5 hours trying to edit the episode. And I was trying some new stuff with, like, digital overlays, or not, well, technically all overlays on computers are digital, with video overlays for the video screen stuff. And I kept running into new edge cases. And let me tell you, that's how you know you're learning, is when you're running into new edge cases for things. Let me see if I can pull up the replay mod file here. So, like, oh, we can actually... Oh, that's fun. We can put the... I'm realizing that's not going to be at the right scale. But... Womp womp. I can jump around in that... So anyway, I was trying to edit stuff like this last night, and I got it where I'm almost happy with it for the episode. But basically, it's a lot. There's just all these little things that need to be tweaked, and things like that. And so I worked on that episode till about 5 a.m. No, 4 a.m. Went to sleep, woke up at 11. And then I was just like, okay, I keep feeling like I'm about a half hour away from being done. I worked on it until 7. So I worked on it for about 8 hours today. I did take a few breaks while I was encoding rough cuts to review, because part of what the issue was, the video was looking different when I was editing it than when I was exporting it, right? So, here, let me show you an example later on in the video. So there's a bunch of issues with this part of the video here, where I've got the stuff up on the screen, where I'm getting weird artifacts that are not in... they're not visible when I'm editing, but they're showing up in production when I export it. So I did manage to leave my apartment and go for a walk during one of the exports. And so I got outside a little bit today. I managed to eat. Don't worry about me. But yeah, if you're like, Joe, you were so confident you were going to get that video done. Why isn't it done? It's because I was overconfident. I have spent the last 24 hours thinking I was about 1 hour away from finishing this video. And you know what the part that's killing me is? At about 7 o'clock tonight, I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, I've got 90 minutes before the stream. I can either try and take a nap real quick, or, I mean, I could probably finish it in the next hour. But you know what? I think I made the right call, and I took a nap. So yeah, I know that y'all might have been hoping for that video today. I know it was a rough day for a lot of folks, and there's so few things that I feel like I can control, and one of them is ostensibly making things that people enjoy and getting those out in the world. So believe me, I was just as disappointed as y'all that video is not going to be done today. That's going to have to be a tomorrow thing. I worked on it all night last night after the stream. I worked on it all day today. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to play Minecraft for about an hour and a half. And then I was invited to be a guest on Surreal's stream tonight, who's normally a guest in Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. But real quick, let me go ahead and we got our first tip of the evening rolling in, even though I haven't posted the link yet. So thank you very much to Evan Lachlan for tipping 5, who says, I am definitely not ignoring my duties at work to watch your stream. Wink, wink. Evan, as long as your job is something that should not be done, then that's fantastic. But if you have a mission-critical job that keeps people alive, please do your job. If you're just somebody who, like, works for, you know, the non-fictional equivalent of the bad guys from Captain Planet, okay, you have my permission to not do your job right now. But also be seeking, you know, better employment in the future. But anyway, so we are 15 away from the next Face Camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. But, yeah. So, we are close on the episode. We are close. But, once again, I have thought that I was an hour away from getting it done for the last 24 hours. So, I am not going to promise anything. I'm not gonna work on it. Or I'm going to stream Minecraft for 90 minutes tonight, and then I'm going to play Quake. I'm just setting my expectations of myself, because part of the problem is that I'm trying to use a bunch of old techniques that I know ostensibly how to do, but in new ways, and I'm running into edge cases I haven't run into before because I haven't done that before. Evan Lachlan says, nah, it's okay, I'm a pizza doctor. Okay. I don't know what a pizza doctor is. Is that somebody? Is that like a script doctor in Hollywood where they've got like a pizza that came out of the oven, but it's like it's not really where they wanted it to be, and they're like, "Oh man, clearly we've invested so much in this pizza." We've put a lot of water and flour and cheese and tomatoes and some peppers and some onions and some pepperoni into this thing, and it looks like it's beyond saving. It's time to call Evan Lachlan. He's the only one who can do it. Only Evan Lachlan can save this pizza. I actually saw at a Chattacon one year, which is one of my favorite little small-town science fiction conventions in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They've been, oh my gosh, I think when I started going to Chattacon, it was like Chattacon 37, and I think they're on Chattacon 50-something now. But one of the first Chattacons I went to, there was actually a talk with a few screenwriters, like a panel, and they were like people that like worked on like mostly like stuff you've heard of, but like not necessarily like it wasn't like it was Steven Spielberg or the Stranger Things guys. It was like somebody who worked on one of the later Chucky movies or something, right? So anyway, one of the guys was talking about how as a script doctor, like the actual job of script doctor is that if there's a movie that's in production and it's not going well, right? Yes, I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, and so there's actually 3 chats running. There's also my Discord chat for the $5 a month and up Patreon patrons. But yeah, so anyway, the script doctor was talking about like how the most absurd thing he was called in to fix was there was some Italian there was some Italian businessman who like got it in his head that he felt like that there was no perfect telling of the story of Easter for children. And so even though he knew nothing about how to make a movie, he financed like animators and writers and people to make this children's animated story of Easter. And you know, he calls the guy and he's, you know, so the script doctor gets recommended to him by somebody on the staff or whatever, I guess, because apparently this thing is just so terrible and it can't be saved. And, you know, the financier is like talking to the script doctor on the phone, and he's like, you know, I've put so much into this, and I need you to save it. Like, I feel like this is one of those stories that it's like one of the greatest stories ever told, and it needs to be accessible to children in Italian. You know, we don't need more English language, you know, things. Like, obviously we'll make an English version of this too, but you know, I just need you to help my team understand my vision, because I hired as many of the best people in the world as I could, and they just don't get it. And so the script doctor's like, okay, you got me. This is what I excel at. We're gonna find a way to make this work. Don't worry, buddy. And then the financier so he says, okay, so let's walk through the script as it is now, and you know, figure out where the biggest problems are, and we're gonna fix this. You know, this is, as you said, a powerful story known to people all over the world already. You know, and we're just finding a way to make it accessible to children. This is, you know, I have a lot to work with here. You're in good hands. And the businessman, he's very relieved. And so the script doctor says, okay, so where are you starting the story in the narrative? You know, with the current script, are you starting with the Last Supper on Holy Thursday, or are you jumping straight into Good Friday and the crucifixion? And the businessman just freaks out at him and goes, oh my God, you can't crucify a man in a thing for children. No, we're starting on Easter morning. And, and the script doctor's just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pass on this job. You can't tell this story in that way. That's Act 3. You can't really do that as Act 1. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to return your deposit. Like, he's like, you know, I've been approached by a lot of people about a lot of things, but that was the only one I ever really had to walk away from. So Evan Lachlan tips 5 and goes, beep. Oh no, we lost a pizza. But yeah, Jill Jackson points out kids love stories about political executions. I know, right? But still, like, it's one of those things, like, if you were gonna tell, like, almost any, like, religious story that has violence in it, there's only so much that you can do to water it down before you're just not telling that story anymore, right? Yeah. Oh, but like, I mean, okay, Rosalia Moon says starting at the ending instead of starting at the beginning. But could you imagine, though, like, somebody making a kid's version of the Easter story that starts with, you know, Mary Magdalene and the apostles racing to the tomb, and Jesus is missing. And then it cuts to him on the road to Emmaus talking to these two guys. And he's just like, I bet you're wondering how I got here, record scratch, 3 days earlier. Like, you know, as I'm saying that, like, I would watch that maybe. But, like, I don't know. Yazi Wolf says, yeah, Rugrats approached several different Jewish stories. And, yeah, they had to consider how to tell the story that was meaningful because of the contextual violence without necessarily depicting the violence, right? Freeze frame record scratch. uh, But yeah. If you're trying to explain something like this to children from the beginning, like why it's culturally significant and religiously important, like, you can't tell a story about someone coming back from the dead without mentioning that they died. Evan Lachlan tips 2 says, false alarm, it was breadsticks, not a pizza. Thank you, Evan, for single-handedly paying for this stream tonight. We are $3 away from our next face camera expansion. We might have gotten... Nope, these are all from Evan. Oh, Gusty Gale says, yeah, another stream. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay. So not quite single-handedly. And I did get that on the Abacus Gusty Gale, don't worry. But yeah, I was just, like, a lot from Evan coming in tonight. Thank you, Evan. But, yeah. So we got onto this because of a pizza doctor in the chat, which apparently is not quite like a script doctor. So... Packy says the story of Jesus, but instead of coming back from the dead, he comes back to town after moving away. It's like I thought my dad was going to get a job in another city. But good news. He got offered a promotion here instead. We can stay. A lot of people talk about Animorphs. I've not read Animorphs. They were big when I was a kid, but, like, I was busy. Like, I was reading all the Goosebumps books, and then I kind of just jumped to Star Trek novels and Star Wars novels, as well as some Michael Crichton. Like, I kind of missed Animorphs. Which is weird, because I liked a lot of sci-fi stuff, but, like, I think on some level the covers just, like, I don't know. The covers just weirded me out. They're like weird covers. I was just like, that just doesn't feel like it's for me. Electra310 says, I didn't go to pizza school for 3 days to be Mr. Pizza. Gusty Gale tips 3 and writes, Grow Hills. Thank you very much, Gusty Gale. That does indeed put us at our first face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to say... Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. Yeah. Brandon says there's a joke about judging books by their covers here, but I'm too tired to find it. I mean, here's the thing, though, is, like... You know, when you're a kid and, like, you know, I could understand, like, to some degree there's the argument of, like, oh, like, you know, I don't know if I want to read, period. But, like, if you've got a bunch of books to choose from, right? So, like, I didn't really have a long time period where I was old enough to read Animorphs that I hadn't already moved on to, like, Michael Crichton and Douglas Adams. And, like, I basically was already, like, judging the grown-up books by their covers. I didn't really do a lot of young adult reading, I guess. Like, but that also, the YA section wasn't quite as big when I was a kid either, right? Like, that wasn't quite the thing it is now. But yeah. It was a pretty big TV show. I didn't know that. Okay, so I feel like maybe we screwed this up somehow. Because that looks like... Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, okay, so the math on this is bad somewhere. But as long as, honestly, at this scale, this is something that it'll even out. Okay, yeah, I can't, I'm not sure exactly what went wrong here. But somehow this doesn't go, this goes over earlier. Yeah, this is the base of the back box. Okay, let me make sure. I'm gonna manually refresh my PayPal. Just make. It's fine if we're not getting tips. I just feel bad if I'm not like acknowledging them if we are getting them. But it doesn't look like it, so that's fine. Just as a reminder, though, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat, and we are 20 away from the next face camera expansion. Okay. Dang it. Close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and mega builds. Yep, you're right, Gusty Gale. That's the thing, is I'm like, honestly, so this is one of those things where, like, the math is kind of rounded anyway. So if we're off by a little bit, if one of these is inconsistent, as long as we fix it from here consistently, it's fine, right? Artisy says, I hated Shakespeare in school because they made us read him, but now I enjoy his work. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about how the stuff they were forced to read in school they resented or didn't like later until they revisited it. I will say with Shakespeare, that's something that I found reads a lot better out loud. Like, it's not meant to be... It's so, like, there are certain stories that are, and honestly, not just, so some books are written this way, where they're, like, supposed to be like an oral history. The structure of the novel is that somebody wrote down somebody's words that were spoken aloud, right? Like, the Patrick Rothfuss books, The Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear, are both like this, where they're actually intended, like, it's technically, yes, it's a novel, but the structure of the novel is that a historian is recording the first-hand account of somebody's life, right? And so, and the person has demanded that this account be absolutely verbatim, without edits or contraction, right? It was like, he's just like, I was raised from a family of performers who, you know, I trained under people who for centuries their livelihood was performance. They chose their words intentionally, and I choose my words intentionally. I am happy to give you a history of my life, but only if you, you know, can ensure that you'll do it verbatim, word for word, because every word has meaning, right? But yeah. It's going to be a second while the thing comes back up. Da, 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 da. Am I going to read to you again? I'm going to read to you Dracula tomorrow night. But I do, while we wait for the server to come back up, is it actually going to come back up? But I'm not saying that all novels are written that way. But I'm saying some novels are written as with cadence to them. right? Shakespeare, certain plays have a cadence to them. Screenplays have a cadence to them. There are certain things that if you're reading them to yourself, you might miss that. I'm an adult. I'm perfectly capable of reading things without reading them aloud. But there are certain things that I know are better read aloud. Evan Lachlan tips 2 says, "Uh-oh, I accidentally put corn on this pizza. Uh-oh." That puts us 18 away from the next face camera expansion. Thank you, Evan. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Hey, Teddy. I have had a long and busy day, but I'm doing my best to keep it together. My reward for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of editing is that now I get to hang out with y'all and play some Minecraft for not exactly fun. I mean, technically this is, but like this is easy mode. This is just chill, hanging out, play some blocks, right? And then after that, I'm gonna get to play. I was invited by Surreal. Oh, we started talking about this earlier. So y'all may know that every Friday possible, I try to raid Mystery Pinball Theater 3000, who runs one of the funniest movie riffing streams on Twitch. And his co-host, Surreal, invited me to be on his show tonight because Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 is taking the night off because Manu is on vacation with his wife and kids. And hey, thank you, Evan Lachlan, for another one. That's going to put us 17 away from the next face camera expansion. So we're going to play Minecraft for another hour or so, and then we're going to raid Surreal, and I'm going to be on voice, hanging out with him, and playing some Quake. Yeah, I made the executive decision not to co-stream it with him, because I was like, well, you know, one of the things I love about Friday nights is that when I get done streaming, I always raid you guys, and then I don't have to moderate the chat. I can just hang out and relax, you know, and I just want it's been a long week. I'm looking forward to just hanging out, chatting with you on voice, and playing some Quake. Hopefully we're going to be playing some Horde mode, which is the new game mode they added recently, where you fight off as many waves of enemies as you can. It's been a long day. Yeah, my brain's a little bit fried. So. But yeah, so if you like Quake, you're welcome to hang out and watch that with us tonight. Should be just a relatively chill chance to unwind. I'm sure that, like, in some ways, I'm not sure if the optimal way is just to do all of these in a single continuous line. What's Quake like? Quake is the original first-person shooter that featured three-dimensional movement. So, it's made by John Carmack and John Romero, who came up with Doom and Wolfenstein as well. But Doom and Wolfenstein only had two-dimensional movement. They kind of faked 3D where they could, but you could never, like, walk over a bridge and then go under where the bridge was. They could have a fake bridge or a fake stairwell, but you couldn't have full 3D movement. So the Half-Life engine is based on the Quake engine, kind of. It's like the next. So if you're familiar with like the Half-Life engine or any modern 3D engine, they owe their roots to the Quake engine. So. Yeah, Quake is a classic. It's just, honestly, Quake is one of the most joyful games I've played in terms of movement. I've been playing it since I was a kid, and it's so fast. That was one of the things that was wild about it, is it was like, you know, here's the first game ever where you can move in true 3D, and you feel like you're ice skating. Like, it's super cheap to get on Steam, even when there's not a Steam sale. I wonder how much I'm not getting a kickback for this, but now I'm genuinely curious. Hold on. How much is Quake right now? Because they're in the middle of their Steam summer sale. Quake is $4. Okay. Yeah, it's a piece of gaming history, and it's $4. But just moving in Quake is so fast and so fluid. Manu used the word skatey to refer to it recently, and he's right. Like, I love ice skating. Like, it's something that just helps free part of my brain up. It just makes me feel joyful that I'm moving. And when I play Quake, it kind of hits the same way. Unreal Tournament is based on, is another similar evolved form of that engine. Yeah. UT is another engine. Or the Unreal Engine is another engine. But no, I'm pretty sure Quake got there first. Teddy Cat says it's so refreshing to hear that people are streaming Quake, let alone playing it. Well, you know, I will say, I mean, I did a test stream of Quake the other day. Like I said, I'm not streaming it tonight. We're just gonna raid Surreal, because it's more chill for me at the end of the day to be able to just hang out and talk on voice. Like, I really appreciate having Friday night, knowing that, like, I can go hang out in the stream with a lot of y'all, but not necessarily be responsible for anything. Like, because I really enjoy hanging out with y'all and talking to the chat and everything. That's one of my favorite parts about being here. But I also have to be responsible for the chat and, like, get rid of the bots and, you know, that sort of thing. And so, like, when we raid Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 and a bunch of y'all keep hanging out, but, like, I'm like, oh, I can just walk to the fridge and get a block of Gouda and chill. I don't have to be, like, keeping an eye on the chat on my phone. Like, because even when I do the hydration breaks, a lot of times I'm pulling out chat on my phone to, you know, make sure that I'm not, you know, that there's not some bot waiting or somebody running a botnet who's just like, okay, he's getting up, time to start spamming, right? Sometimes they still get me, but it's just nice to hang out with y'all but not be responsible for the infrastructure, you know? So usually on Friday nights, if it's just me, I'll have cheddar and Gouda, and if it's winter, I'll usually bake pretzel, but I don't like running the oven too much when it's hot out, and it's hot out right now. But yeah, I'd have like pretzels, some mustard. I might fry up a sausage while I'm watching the stream, you know, have it on my laptop or iPad or something. But, like, yeah, if we've got guests over for Friday night, I usually will try to go out and get some, like, goat cheese or other cheeses too. Stuff that's a little bit, like, just, you know, because everybody has different tastes. And, like, you know, it's good to have some variety, but at the same time, I don't need 6 kinds of cheeses in my fridge all the time. So, like, if I've got people there to help me eat it, I'll pick up some other kinds, and so that way everybody gets to have their favorite, hopefully. But yeah, that's just okay. Good. So it looks like Jev was able to get one of the things there. Hey, we got our first PayPal tip of the stream rolling in from Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline, who says, love listening to the Joecast. Can't wait for tomorrow's Dracula reading. I am so hype about tomorrow's Dracula reading. Like, seriously. It is going to be fantastic. I am so happy about this decision. Like, I've been making a lot of decisions lately about how to, like, restructure things to kind of fix my production schedule, but also make sure that I feel like I'm stretching out creatively. And doing those readings is a great way for me to stretch out creatively, but also to make sure that I book time to, what do you call it? Book time to do all the grindy work, right? So, I don't want to ruin his floor, but, like, sorry. But, like, so this way it's like, okay, what grindy stuff do I need to do for the next week? I can do that while I'm reading Dracula Saturday night and kind of make sure that I got my stuff sorted. And, like, I think it's going to be really helpful to have that kind of anchoring, because this mega build is just gigantic. If you haven't noticed, it's a big thing. But yeah. But yeah, we're lucky we have some like local dairy farms. There's one in Kentucky called Kenny's that I used to go buy directly from them at the farmers market, but now they're in we have a local chain of grocery stores here called Turnip Truck, which is kind of focused on buying as much stuff from local farmers as possible. And so now I can go into it, and the other nice thing about Turnip Truck is they're what's called an urban market. Like, they intentionally build them in the heart of the city, and like they've got a few of them around town now, but like in town, you know, it's not like you have to drive out to the interstate to go shopping for groceries, which is so fantastic. But yeah, Turnip Truck has started carrying their cheeses, and so that's been great, because they've always got great stuff. But yeah, that's the thing. So like, I'm not going to come in here and be like, hey, you guys should eat this brand of cheese. What I'm saying is find the local farm that's doing that near you and then eat that, right? That's a different type of endorsement. I have no problem saying that, like, oh, Kenny's cheese, like Kenny's Cheeses, which is a local dairy farm, is awesome. Find a local dairy farm like them. You know, because like I said, when you go to the farmer's market, and you talk to them, you're actually talking to like people who work there, right? And they always seemed really cool. And so, yeah. Oh, man. I am very fortunate to live in a city where people have chosen to invest in stuff like this. We have so many incredible local farms and stuff. You know, it's one of those things where having their stuff actually on the shelves in the grocery stores is great. Brandon says, is the grindy work things you typically do off stream that you're also now freeing up by putting it on stream? Maybe. So for example, Brandon, like standing at a skeleton spawner is the sort of thing that's too, I would consider that too boring to stand at the skeleton spawner for 2 hours on stream on its own, right? But I can stand at the skeleton spawner for 2 hours and read Dracula. You know. That so some of that's like next level stuff. Some of it's stuff where it's just like you know, if it's easy enough, it's like, okay, I gotta go gather 8 shulker boxes full of terracotta, you know, where you're not really picky about where you're removing the terracotta from or anything. Okay. Got an invite from Surreal. I'm saying, awesome, see you in 45. Because I am still live now. I can't have ice cream. No. So yeah, I have problems digesting like milk and cream, stuff that hasn't been, like anything that's been curdled though. Like whatever processes go into turning milk into cheese, I can have cheese. I'm not like a food scientist. I'm sure there's specific words for this, but like, Yeah, I can have cheese. I don't do well with milk or cream. And so that's how I get most of my dairy is through cheese then at that point. Sawyer Kettler says, Joe, do you only play on stream? No, I play a lot while I'm on the phone. Like if I have like calls that are not that don't require so for example, like HermitCraft planning calls might be 2 or 3 or 4 hours long sometimes. Although we don't really do much planning. Usually it's like, oh my gosh, did you see this rocket launch? HermitCraft has so many space nerds. But like, we end up palling around for like a lot of it, but then we also have a bunch of other stuff, you know, that we actually have to talk about. But like, we're not good at getting things done quickly, I'll tell you that. Which is fine if you just want to hang out, but if you're trying to get a lot of stuff done quickly, it can be kind of stressful. So like during those calls, I'll come in and do a lot of like kind of random organization and stuff. But yeah. Let's see here. Clearly I'm confused says, sounds like herding cats. Well, only if you're trying to get the cats to go somewhere. But like, you know, we're all professional monologuers, and so we can be quite verbose. Okay. Welcome, Orion. Glad you could join us. Whew, we're just kind of having a chill Friday night stream. You know, a lot of people had kind of a rough day today. Do I want to be part of your clan and team deathmatch? That's a very old Quake reference. I am hoping that Team Fortress makes a resurgence. Because we're just now at the point where people are going to start being nostalgic for it. Bring back Team Fortress, please. How is the shopping district road situation? I addressed that a little bit in my upcoming video. Yeah, the original Team Fortress. Bring it back. Bring back conch jumping, please. I loved being able to concussion jump as the medic. Hey, Popcorn Pope. I am currently building a colossal scale model of a pinball machine. We've got the whole thing wireframed out very loosely, but the back box is where I'm putting my effort right now. Real quick, though, we need to go and lay our head down and dream. You know, wait, actually, I should put a bed up here. Da 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 dee. Hey, good evening, Sammy. Glad you could join us. La da 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 dee. Da 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 da. Okay. Welcome, Abner J. Hernandez. Glad you could join us from Puerto Rico tonight. As always. Hey, we got a tip rolling in via PayPal. Let's see who that's from. Jason rolling in with 25. Boom. The first 12, that gets you an expansion. And then then we get 13 past the next milestone. So here we go. It's time to expand. If you've never seen a Joe Hill stream before, the face camera gets bigger every time we hit a tipping milestone. Jason just put us $13 past the next face camera expansion milestone, so we are 7 away from that. Jason writes, thanks for being a consistent part of my relaxation after work. Love the stuff you do. Can't wait to see more. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I'm really feeling good about this season. I feel like a lot of the pieces are there for me to really kind of up my game as an artist. I really like the technical and artistic changes this build is going to have. I think it's going to help me get my production schedule back on track by being focused on smaller individual components of the build. Like it's weird because I'm having a hard time shifting gears into that mode. And I was hoping to try and do that this episode, but it just like, oh boy, editing this episode, I'm like, I've got 10 days of random interactions with hermits that are all individually funny. But like the plot, what is the through line of the episode? Like that's the thing. So I'm like trying to fix all these technical problems, but I'm also like, how do I, like, which of these interactions fit thematically? And I was like, I'm driving myself crazy. It's fine. Ooh. Beach episode. Yeah, let's go to the hot springs, everybody. Hot springs episode. Vicky Hamlin says, do you need a plot in all episodes? I kind of need a I need it to have a narrative through line, kind of. It needs to feel coherent. And the longer I go between publishing episodes, the less coherent it often feels, right? Brandon says, I think you've done a lot to offset your responsibilities with this community too. Oh, exactly. For example, today there was a lot going on in the news, obviously, and I was just like, I'm behind on getting this episode out, and one of the few ways that I can positively impact people is by making things that they enjoy. And so I really feel a strong obligation to focus on getting this episode out. But also, when stuff like this is happening, it's like, well, what are my obligations as somebody who runs a community? And this was a day where I could say to my staff, I trust y'all to take care of this. I'm going to try and focus on making the episode. And that was really fantastic. And because that's the point. That's why we have paid staff in the Discord community, is so I can say, look, I hired great people because I knew stuff was going to happen from time to time. And I don't run a community where we just shut down unpleasant conversations, you know? So whether or not I have time to participate in them is a different thing. But yeah, so today was definitely a day where I was very grateful for the paid moderation staff. I really, like I said, I regret that I wasn't able to finish that episode in time, but I just bit off more than I could chew with the video compositing stuff. For those of you just joining me here, let me see if I can pull this up. But yeah, so here's a clip from the episode that I'm working on. So I'm trying to get the compositing working properly on these screens, and I think I've generally got it pretty well. It's not perfect, but it's close. But I'm running into this weird glitch at the end of the episode here, where I'm getting these weird artifacts around the edges of the display, and I'm going to have to go in and find a way to mask that. What's really frustrating is those artifacts aren't showing up in my video editing software. They're only showing up in the export. So normally what you see is what you get in the preview, but these weird artifacts around the edges here are just like, I'm doing my best. But yeah, it took me, I spent so long to get this shot with the screen here to look like natural. Like basically I was going in frame by frame and matching up the corners, because even though there's some automated stuff for that, it's not perfect, and it doesn't really do well with Minecraft for some reason. Like it's a lot of the software was designed to track things in the real world, you know? So yeah, it's gonna look even better on on YouTube when you're watching it at full quality. But yeah, so if you're like, Joe, what did you do all day? How come there's not an episode? Believe me, I'm working on it. But yeah, it's I'm at the point where if I can't entirely fix the artifacts with the screen at the end, like, I'm just gonna publish it as is. It doesn't ruin the episode, but like, one of the goals of doing things that are technically challenging is to learn how to solve the weird edge cases and problems that come up. So I'm gonna keep working on that. But like, this episode is so close to being done. I really feel like I have less than an hour of editing left, but that's how I felt about it at 11 o'clock last night. And I have basically been working on it for like, I don't know, a lot. Since 11 last night, I worked on it till 4 in the morning, woke up at 11, worked on it again until 7 at night. Like, it's coming along, but I should have gotten a handful of beef jerky and literally bit off more than I could chew, just for the visual humor. Although I don't like wasting food, I would actually then have to sit there and eat it for like a while. So we're not gonna do that. But yeah, I really... The big problem with the video stuff is I have to solve the problems with it because we're going to be doing video stuff like that the entire season, right? The reason I have the pinball machine is so that I can record the individual parts. Like, here's me flipping the flipper and showing how the parts underneath the pinball machine are reacting, right? Like, you press this button and these two contacts touch, and then the coil in here moves this, right? Like, and so as much as it would be nice to say, like, I just got to get this episode out, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, I can only kick the can down the road until the next episode comes out, right? So if I can't if I can't find the technique for this to get this episode out tomorrow, then it's just going to go out as is, and it'll be good enough. It's close. It's almost good enough, but like, I need to learn the actual answer too, because, you know, we're gonna be doing more of it. Bite off exactly as much as you can chew. But my eyes are bigger than my mouth. And I have a giant mouth. Dirty Deal says, I know it's unrelated, but you mentioned earlier random interactions with other hermits. Yeah, like, for example, Cub just randomly popped in and shot me with fireworks yesterday. And I was just like, this just doesn't quite fit in the video. And I had to cut it. But, like, then there's other stuff where it's like, oh, we fought the dragon with B-dubs at random. B-dubs showed up when we were fixing our gear. And I'm like, I should include the dragon fight. But should I? I don't know. Like that's where it gets like things just start feeling, because you want the server, you want to showcase the community elements of the server. You don't just want to be like, oh, here's my really grindy stuff, right? Oh, NJ, I'm glad you're having fun playing games. What game are you playing? Greetings. I must have some anime eyes. I know, right? B-dubs had it in his episode and he was genuinely confused. So that's the thing too, though, is if the footage is in somebody else's episode, I really don't need to show their perspective. The part that I think is funny is that every time I think I've ever fought the dragon has died while I was looking in a chest trying to put somebody else's stuff away. Who had just died. Like I can't pay attention to the dragon fight because my friends keep dying. Called Pictomania. Ah, cool. Have fun. Hello. How you doing? You want to get a little closer? I would like a free trident, please. Do we have any breathing potions? Don't lose him. Water breathing. What else we got here? Instant damage, invisibility. Invisibility's fun. Do we get a trident? It's okay, we already have a trident. Okay. Have a good night, Lakshmi13. We could always have more tridents. Whoa, what's going on up here? What is this, party time? Hold on. Oh yeah, you can't see me. Yeah, you're good. Okay. So I feel like, oh yeah, we need, how are we doing on the Blackstone from Tango? Not optimally. I'll tell you that. Oh boy. Can dispensers shoot tridents? They can. Huh. Well, I'm not sure what to do about that knowledge, but I am glad that is knowledge I have. Okay. We're into the last half hour of the stream. Like I said earlier, we are going to be rating on the hour. So 24 minutes from now, we're going to be rating Surreal 7. and playing some Quake together. I really enjoy watching him and Manu do Mystery Science Theater 3000 every Friday night. And since Manu is on vacation with his family tonight, Surreal had invited me over to his show to play some Quake, and I'm really excited. Quake is one of my favorite games, and I almost never get to play it. So we established on my Discord server a players wanted room so that people could be like, hey, I'm going to play some Mario Kart. Anyone want to jump in? You know, just kind of like a pickup game type of channel. And like, I have been wanting to be able to go in there and be like, hey, I'm ahead on my work. You guys want to play some Quake for an hour? For like months now. And it hasn't happened yet. So, Surreal inviting me to go play Quake. Reclaiming our time since Manu is on vacation, because otherwise I would be totally over watching Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 tonight. It's like, okay, normally I'd be really bummed about Manu taking the night off, although I'm glad he's hanging out with his family and stuff. But I love his show, and I look forward to it every Friday. And so it's like, oh, I'm going to turn that into a positive, playing some Quake. So, yeah, I'll be live on voice on Surreal's stream. I don't know if I'm going to be on video. I hope not. The only thing I have to wear is this green tank top. But yeah, should be fun. And then tomorrow night we're going to be reading Dracula and doing some grindy work on the server. Got plenty of that to do. I think I might go through... One of the things I'm considering doing during the Dracula grind stream is making like a bajillion fireproof potions, because I have burned through so many of them, and I just constantly need more. I know CubFan sells them, but like... I need so many. Because I really... I think for HHH we're going to start working on the western tunnel, or no, the eastern tunnel, the red tunnel, the one opposite yellow, soon. And Joe, what are the screenshot location submissions due for the newsletter? Tommy and I were going to go through those on Monday morning, but yeah, part of that is so for my newsletter we don't do a lot of pictures, but part of the reason for that is that we don't have a style guide really set up for like how to take pictures. And so the goal is for me and Tommy, well, specifically, I'm going to be the one taking the pictures, but we're going to be kind of writing up what the style guide is for, like, composition and stuff as we screenshot a bunch of stuff on the server, you know, and kind of figure out, like, what works and what doesn't. So that way, in the future, I can say, Tommy, go get screenshots of things at these coordinates, and Tommy won't have to say, like, oh, well, how would you want me to shoot that, right? Because we would have figured it out together. So... That's kind of it's kind of a exercise in establishing a style guide, but it's also a fun way to show off some of the cool community builds. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But yeah, it's on Monday morning. I don't know how many of those people have actually sent coordinates in for, because that's Tommy's job, and we'll find out on Monday. Hey, welcome Stephanie Hall. I'm doing well. Okay. We are just working on getting the fundamentals in here. My general stream schedule is I stream most nights except for Tuesday and Wednesday at 8:30 at night. I stream Wednesday morning at 8:30 in the morning. I stream Monday afternoon for HHH, but the time depends on when other people are going to be there. I have a few other bonus streams slotted throughout the week for if I'm ahead on editing, but I'm almost never ahead on editing, so I don't... That's why they're bonus streams. Next Thursday, I've got guests in town. We've got a lot of stuff going on over the summer. So that's the other thing, is my summer stream schedule is even more erratic than usual. So I'm not going to be streaming next Thursday night. I'll probably stream earlier in the day on Thursday instead. So I'll still, because I still need to get the hours in of, like, if I'm not making progress on builds on the server, I'm not getting the footage I need to make the videos on tempo, right? So I try not to cancel streams. I usually end up just moving them around, like, a few hours earlier in the day. So I try. I'm not good at it. I try to let people know on Twitter if I'm doing a bonus stream, but really just following on YouTube and Twitch, having your alerts set up is the best way to make sure you find out. But yeah, basically I try to stream about, I try to stream about probably 15 hours of HermitCraft a week in order to stay on pace for getting my builds done and my episode progress. Is that right? Because it's about 2 hours a night, 5 nights, and then HHH is another 3, but some of the nights are longer. Might be coming. Yeah, I feel like basically I need to be streaming close to 15 to 20 hours a week in order for my episodes to have enough footage to happen. But I also need to have enough time to edit that footage. And so it gets dicey. I usually do a 2 or 3 hour craft stream with Cleo as well. And I try to do some other streams mixed in there to get a little bit of variety, push myself as a creative person, that sort of thing. But, yeah. Ah, yeah. Stephanie Hall says, we got home from a concert in town with an Eagles cover band at the park. Oh, that sounds fantastic. I love outdoor concerts. Back when I was a kid, that was the only kind my parents took us to, because that was all they could afford. Ooh, free concert in the park. Let's take our lots of children. Because, like, anything you had to buy seats for, it's like, oh, boy. Do we really want to buy 5, 6, or 7 seats? No. No. But yeah, like my daughter, I've taken her to see like live music before, like Postmodern Jukebox, Hamilton, like stuff like that. And but I was like, yeah, I never got to do anything like this when I was a kid. I didn't go to my first like touring Broadway show until I was like probably out of college. Like we couldn't afford it, you know. And I've got 4 siblings, and it's been really nice reconnecting with them after after everybody got vaccinated and stuff. Like, it's been kind of an isolating couple years for everybody, you know. And so that's one of the reasons that this summer my stream schedule has been really a lot crazier, is because I'm trying to take more time to spend with my siblings. Sean's moved back into town. My sister is staying in town temporarily. And then my other 2 brothers I see when I can. And it's been really great. It's been really just really great. It was a really rough couple of years. But you guys know that too. Let's see, where are we on time? 15 minutes, okay. And then we're gonna go play some Quake. My daughter as well. She stays with the other side of the family for the summer. But I talked to her on the phone, and she seems to be enjoying it. Ah! Apparently I thought that platform went further than it did. I must have run out of blocks over the earlier pass. I'm just sitting here hanging out. It's like, womp womp. The end of my vending machine looks like it has eyes. Oh, it's a pinball machine. Stretch out and chill. Placing blocks and making progress. What kind of music have I been enjoying lately? Boy. I don't really get a chance to listen to a lot of music. So I used to listen to a lot of music at my day job, and like now that I don't work a day job anymore, it kind of like I kind of never reallocated that time, you know? The weird thing is I find myself noticing music a lot more in shows and films and stuff because I'm like, oh, yeah, music. That exists. Like, my kid is always... Well, the thing is, though, too, like, my kid... like, I pay for a music subscription service, and so she just puts on whatever she wants all the time. So I listen to a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily like. But, like, I'm not gonna, like, have two stereos running at once. I just put up with whatever she wants to listen to. So, boy, a lot of Miley Cyrus. I listen to way more Miley Cyrus than I probably should. Although I don't know which songs are actually Miley Cyrus and which ones are other people. But a pinball machine can be a vending machine if you try really hard, says Iris Rust Sandwiches. Chloe the Great and Powerful Tip 7, who says, thanks, Joe and chat, for entertaining me at work. I do what I can. Hey, that's going to put us evenly at our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. Please direct your attention down here to the lower left. Sure. So I can say, expand, Joe, do. And, yeah, we are currently now 20 even away from the next face camera expansion. Thank you very much, Chloe the Great and Powerful, for putting us over the top there. We are 10 minutes away from the next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. But yeah, it's funny because like when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of Nirvana, and they're prominently featured in the soundtrack for this season of For All Mankind. And like every time one of their songs comes on, I'm like, why don't I listen to this all the time? But like, I just don't know when I would. Because like a lot of times when I'm editing stuff, like music isn't really super great. And when I'm streaming, I can't really listen to music because of DMCA strikes. And like, I don't really drive anymore. So it's like, But like when I'm cooking and cleaning, a lot of times is when I'm watching shows or you know, like catching up with my friend's HermitCraft stuff. Although that's always weird because I like don't want to necessarily be spoiled about stuff. So it's like, okay, who's doing something that's completely unrelated to me in any way? That's what I can safely watch. But it's like, uh-oh, Cub started building a PvP arena that I want to fight in. Well, I better not learn about that because I need to go in fresh, right? No, I said 10 minutes until the stream ends. So I did last calls for tips, yeah. Because we're now 8 minutes away. And sometimes tips take time to process. We are 20 away from the next expansion, Kuski. Chloe the Great and Powerful tips 28, who says 20 within 20 minutes. Thank you, Chloe the Great and Powerful. That does indeed put us 8 past our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. Grow Hills. D. And there we are. Hi, it's me, Joe Hills. Joe Hills, he is Joe Hills. We're gonna play some Minecraft for 7 minutes yet. We are gonna place the black stone, I bet, to make the base of the back box. We're building the whole thing. I don't know. I kind of lost the thread right there. I guess it's fine. I have good hair. La da da da. I mean, we're almost done with the baseboard of the back box. Well, kind of. The, this part of it. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, we got a bed on this level now. Let's go use it. Woo. Ah, okay, well, let's use the one down here. It's fine. It's equally acceptable. Welcome, Pride Ceratops. Okay. Hello, two creepers. Hope you're doing well down there. We're making progress. Okay, so this one needs to be, yeah, here. Falls into bed, literally. Yeah. Now we got the good shadows. Oh, there's a dolphin jumping around down there. Hope you're having fun, Mr. Dolphin. There's just something really relaxing about the shaders. Like, I don't like them for the videos, for the because I don't think they look like Minecrafty enough, but I feel like we could get a good parody of Jolene, but using the word Cub fan to replace my man. Oh, hold on. B-dubs, 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 B-dubs. But what, I don't, yeah, like something, 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 Cub fan. Like, there's something there. I don't have it. It reminds me of actually, like, being at the beach. It's just nice. I like the motion. Like, I don't think it makes for better videos, but, like, it is just soothing when I'm streaming. I'm begging of you, please don't. So what's a good rhyme with take? Rake, bake, cake, fake, I don't know. Yeah, back to the beach episode. Yeah, we're just gonna do the beach episode with shaders. Flake. B-dubs, 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 B-dubs. I'm begging of you, please don't flake on Cub Fan. Please don't break Cub Fan. I'm begging of you, please don't break Cub Fan. Steak would be good if Cub Fan were a vampire one season. Helsing, 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 Helsing. I'm begging of you, please don't steak Cub Fan. Slay. Slay could work. Whew. Forsake. Good one. Okay. Please don't quake. Hey, we brought it back around. We are about to raid Surreal and play Quake. I'm going to be joining via voice and playing Quake together. Hopefully we'll do some horde mode. Oh no, it's making noise. Bethesda, don't make noise. Okay, so anyway, I've got Quake open here. I probably should go play it. Let's go ahead and make sure that we've got the right Surreal 7. Yo, I'm Surreal 7. I'm the real Surreal. I'm Surreal 7. Yo, I'm Surreal 7. Yeah, I'm Surreal 7. All you other Surreal 7s will die and go to heaven? I don't know. Okay. So, ooh, yes, stream 118, Friday Night Quake with Joe Hills. That's me. I'm Joe Hills. So let's go ahead and post that link here. And we're going to set up the raid for folks over here. /raid surreal _7. Once again, if you see Mystery Pinball Theater 3000, you've hung out with Surreal and I before. Surreal is constantly Manu's co-host. I normally would raid Manu on Saturday night, but we're doing this instead. So when you get over there, our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here. Anyway, until next time y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do.